what it do? It's your boy. I'm trying out some new stuff, you know, new year, got some new kit. Let's try and shift the format a little bit, shall we? So I'm going to be talking to you about my top 17 robots in 2017. I was going to do a top 10. That's 10. But then Theo did 17 and I found it really hard to narrow down 10 because this year's been properly solid for robos, hasn't it? Let's face it, it's been really rather good. So yeah, I just thought, you know what, yeah, next year we'll do 10 because 18 is going to be a hell of a lot to manage. 17 though, I felt like this year I could do 17. I felt like this year I could very easily pick 17 robos that I really rather like. And so what some might not be the greatest, the best, the very pinnacle of what has been on offer this year, but I just really liked them. Some of it is objectively just not very good at all, but it's hit a chord with me. So let's begin in no particular order, because I'm not going to count down like it's, you know, going down to number one being the best, because I can't do that. I can't pick favourites ever in anything. So I'm just going to sort of go through size order, kind of. Yeah, okay. So let's start off. Number 17, although numbers don't matter, Tide's Return Nightbeat. Yeah, yeah, the tiny little headman, screaming face guy. I really like that. I got it for £3 at TFN. I just haven't been able to put the thing down, to be perfectly honest. I like the drill mode, I like the plane mode. His little tiny robot mode is actually really nicely done, and I love the blue plastic that he's made out of. And the head, yeah, so kind of forget about the face, that's added comedy value, that's another reason I really like it. But like the head, like all the detail around, you know, around his face, it's really nice. It's just a really cool little head, and I feel like, yeah, I kept putting it on different figures because it looks really good, and I love the plastic colours and everything. It's, yeah, Nightbeat is good. If I'd got a shuffler, that would be taking his place in the list, but I'm convinced they don't actually exist and it's some kind of collective fever dream. Up next, Tide's Return Wingspan. Yeah, when I opened this set at TFN, a lot of what I'm going to be talking about here is TFN stuff, by the way. Yeah, when I opened that set I was like, these are weak. I did not like them at all. But actually I came to realise that, along with the colour palette, I really like that figure, especially Wingspan. Cloudbreaker's nice too. I've been playing with them both quite a lot, but Wingspan definitely beats him because he's turquoise and he's Decepticon. He turns into a bird with hot pink wings, and those clones are just really nice little figures to just muck about with. Nice desk toy guys to just pick up and just, yeah, you can't put them down. Just really good little robots. Whether their transformations are actually any good or not is, you know, a matter for debate. But as little robot action figures, they're really good. Next up is a bit of an odd choice, perhaps. The Last Night's Scullitron. Yeah, when he was shown off, everyone was like, oh my days. Are you kidding? That's his name. Oh dear. But actually, once I actually saw the figure, and I was just like, actually, you know what, that's kind of up my alley. I kind of like what's going on here. Forget about the name, forget about the entirety of the film. It's actually a really nicely done figure. Like the face being all crumbled in and decayed. I really like that. All the kind of bronze filigree stuff that he's got going on, that has never turned up in like anything ever. I really, really like at least the paint job of the figure, but the figure itself is actually pretty nice. I mean, I've heard some pretty bad stories about people's copies of the figure being really badly put together, like really floppy and loose, but mine's alright. I like the articulation, I like his rusty old sword, I like the wings he can do loads of stuff with. Transforming him is a bit like, and the dragon mode is a bit like, what? But I think I can appreciate the dragon mode, actually. It feels, somehow, I don't know where this idea has come from, it's some strange Mandela effect in my brain, some weird image that I picked up osmotically from somewhere. But it feels like a very British dragon crawls out of a cave in Wales somewhere. I don't know. And then there's the fact he's supposed to be an Autobot with that face. And it's like, oh mate, oh, that's not good for you, is it? He could set up like a facial disfigurement support group with my next choice, RAD Blastwave. Again, another Autobot with a weird skull face. I should be picking Bludgeon, really, shouldn't I? I got Bludgeon, but honestly, because Bludgeon was so much the same thing as Blastwave, it's like, nah. Blastwave was where it was when that mould hit me, and I felt like, yeah, this is very, very good. I would have to say he's got to be the best RID figure. Just out there, just, yeah, we've had the whole line now, haven't we? He's got to be the best one. Solid, chunky, green and blue tank man. Just feels completely fresh and new, because he is just completely fresh and new. The sword and the guns, it all just works so nicely, and it's so rock solid, and just that proper feel of what like, a deluxe figure should be. Just a chunky square lad, and he can pose really nice, and he's just got that very particular unique flavour that just definitely sells him as something new that's worth having just as an oddity. In the year 2017, everything is still G1. Everything is still Optimus and Bumblebee and Megatron and Starscream. And give me some new guys, come on. Speaking of new guys, the next one's X-Brawn. Yeah, so I just got him for Christmas. I do feel a bit weird putting Christmas figures into the list because it's like I only got it 5 days into the end of 2017, you know. But I really do like him. I think he represents a lot of that retro stuff that I like from G1 that you only ever got in G1 figures, but in a modern figure. He's got the chrome, he's got the rubber tyres. He feels like he could have had some die-cast in there, obviously hasn't got any, but that would have worked. He just feels like it exemplifies what RID was going for at the time, of just being G1 but new. And he's just got that really properly nice early 2000s like anime robot aesthetic going on that I really like. So yeah, X-Brawn's good. Always nice to have something a bit older in the list, because it can't all be brand new stuff. This year was properly solid for brand new stuff, but you've got to take a step back and think, actually, you know what, I got some really nice old stuff in there as well. And the other really nice old thing I got, well, you know, old. Encore Sound Blaster. I've never touched the Soundwave mould, and this one, with all the just the nice slick black and the red chest, and just feeling like something really slick, being that Encore nice, shiny, pristine, brand new G1 thing that hasn't got stickers that aren't going to come off because everything's printed on, and all the chrome is pristine, all the joints are pristine, and he feels so nice and heavy with all the die cast. Oh man, something about just turning him into that rectangle and turning him back again into a robot, and it's like, it's not really a lot going on here, is there? But there's just definitely something iconic about that robot, isn't there? And I can now appreciate that, you know. I've never really been able to before, but now it's like, yeah, Sound Blaster is just so nice. That face, why does Soundwave never have that particular kind of buggly mouth plate anymore? It's kind of grumpy. Why do they give him that properly like angled prime mouth plate these days? Give him that weird like Wario moustache thing going on in there. Next one is Titans Return Cup. Yeah, so like everyone and their mum has got the Legends version that's like light years better because he's actually painted quite nice. He's got the round forearms and the yellow bit that goes in his arm and the proper old man face. But no, I like the Hasbro one. I don't need a Target Master. I'm good with the silly two guns he's got that go together and go on his back. I kind of never do anything with them, I leave them on his back. But I like that figure. I like his colours. He's solid. The transformation is something else. And for an old guy, he's like the most poseable, dynamic figure in like the whole line. I just cannot stop transforming the thing. Like the alt mode looks really good as well. The big windscreen that you open up and put the guy in, and all the bits on the back for him to stand on or sit in a gun or whatever. And then you transform it. It's just such a cool process. And you get a robot mode that is kind of uncharacteristically lithe and sprightly, and you just can't stop putting into really dynamic poses. Continuing with Titans Return, because, you know, let's face it, that's where the majority of the good stuff of this year has come from. Misfire. Everyone seems to have a Misfire on their list, and I'm not going to break the trend. I absolutely love that thing, and I can't really tell you why exactly. You know, it's hot pink. That's cool somehow. All his joints just feel nice. There's something that just feels a little bit more cohesive than trigger happy somehow. I don't know, maybe because he hasn't got all the stuff up his arms, but he just feels like as a robot figure he's a lot better than Trigger Happy. Of course, the transformation is like light years below what Trigger Happy pulls out with all those twists and turns and everything. It's just put the thing over his head. But I really like it, and the alt mode is really cool. And so is Slugslinger. Yeah, he's on this too. They're both pretty much the same thing for the most part, aren't they? But I couldn't pick just one. Let's face it, while I'm now all about that tealy turquoise, Slugslinger could not be off of the list. He's just so good looking, isn't he? Those colours, and the face is kind of weird. He's got a kind of like kind of weird, snarky, almost Megatron looking face. I don't really like that. Looks a bit like a cat meme. But what's going on with him is like, it's almost better than Misfire, but then it's not. So I couldn't pick him over Misfire because Misfire still does some things a bit better. Like his robot mode, just a little bit tighter with where everything goes on his back, because it's like saying this stuff is just egregious kibble, you know, it just hangs there and gets in the way of things. But it's still really good, and I like that alt mode. So his two cockpits don't open up. You can't fit two guys in there, which is a bit of a shame, but it's still a really nice alt mode. I love how they've printed all like the old stickers on there. That's one thing Hasbro need to do this year, is to get rid of actual stickers and go back to what they were doing throughout Bits of Titan's Return and just print the details of like the old stickers on there. If they're gonna like try to recreate old stickers, print them on. Continuing with paint jobs that add something nice. Black Convoy, Legends LGEX Tokyo Toy Show exclusive Scourge Man. That one. Oh mate. Now I included the Titan's Return Optimus on my list last year, and honestly I look back at that and think that was a bad decision. I didn't need to do that. It doesn't deserve that kind of level of notoriety. It's not that good a figure, is it? You know, the stickers are bad and the colours are weak and the joints aren't very good. He's a bit floppy and bits get in the way, and it's just, I was really excited for that toy, and then it was a bit like, oh, it's not actually that good. But Black Convoy redeems it just totally. I don't care about the limitations, like the arms don't quite work like you want to. I don't care about the silly plane mode. It's a brand new generation style RID Scourge, and it just drips with the most beautiful teal metallic highlights on that black and the red, and the sword, forget about it. That thing is just a masterclass in how to do a better, much more sexy repaint, and yeah, I could not leave that off the list, could I? Not when it was my RR Cozine centerfold picture. Keeping with Takara, the next one is Masterpiece Optimus Primal, the toy colours one. Yeah, I wasn't really that excited or enthused about Masterpiece Beast Wars for the longest time, and then I thought, okay, let's get in on it. Let's get the one that actually appeals to me and makes me feel like I'm getting that old toy done a bit better. And yeah, it's just really nice, isn't it? So Masterpiece seems to be heading into a place that's like much more expensive and complex, and like what you're paying for isn't quite as obvious as what it used to be, because a lot of that money goes into a really nice paint job. You're probably going to scratch 5 minutes after you've opened it. But this guy seems to be somewhere in between those 2 points. He's like, yeah, he works all that old Masterpiece standard that you know is good, but put some new things in there, like, you know, the kind of matte texture that all of his furry bits have got, that you kind of think, well, it shouldn't really be like that, actually. It should be a bit rough to simulate the texture of gorilla fur, but it's always smooth, and it's like, something about it, that matte finish is just like really nice. His eyes are up and he's got loads of swords and things, and he's got the mace, and it's like, mate, what more could you ask for an Optimus Primal figure? Honestly, you couldn't. It gives you everything. Next up is something which is very particularly not of the same kind of standard as a Masterpiece. Cyber Battalion Jetfire. Now, this is a figure which I have tried my very hardest to articulate my feelings on throughout the year. In articles to the Fine Robot Co, and I did do a video, and I just didn't do anything with it. It's one of these ones that's in limbo, and I might find a way to put the footage out there as some kind of lost episode of Twitter or something. I've just been completely like laser focused, enamoured with this thing since it was revealed, since someone found one in Hong Kong or wherever it was, that they suddenly popped up without any fanfare or warning. There's something about it that just encapsulates what I still want Transformers to be. Kind of basic and kind of bad in a way, but it's just really good. He hasn't got any knees, he hasn't got any bicep swivels, his legs hardly move. It's just a Starscream retool, but I really like it so much more than like the proper generation of Jetfire. It just feels solid and fun. It's just a big Voyager-esque sized Jetman that hits all the right colours and most of the right shapes. He's got 2 big red guns, and it just feels like a toy. It's not trying to be anything high end, it's not trying to be anything special. It's just a Jetfire toy for kids. And yeah, you could say that maybe part of the appeal of it to me is that it's rare, that you've probably never seen it, you're probably never going to see one in the flesh unless you actually go to Hong Kong or somewhere. But yeah, I mean, I got my hands on a few of those Cyber Battalion guys actually. But Jetfire has to be the best one, definitely. There's just something about the look, properly pristine white plastic as opposed to the generation Jetfire that already looks yellowed. They could have done anyone. Why pick Jetfire? They could have gone the easy route and done another Seeker, but they changed things and made it Jetfire instead, and I just really like it. Maybe it's the fact that the cockpit actually goes down and makes his chest. There are things about it that some weird way feel a lot more like the G1 figure than the Generations one we got, so maybe that's why I like it. Maybe because it's a little bit more of a cross, who knows. Stepping up into the big lads, it's time to return Overlord. I got Sky Shadow quite early in the year, around the same time that I got the Cyber-Battalion guys I was just talking about. And yeah, that was really good. It was a really good figure. But when it comes down to it, Overlord just inches him out. Because of course it's, you know, the same figure from the waist down, but the colours, oh, just yes. I feel like I've been getting a lot of these late wave Decepticons and Titans Return that are all like, you know, guys like Wingspan and Slugslinger that are rocking that properly like 1988, 89 colour scheme. You know, the sort of thing that Dreadwind looks like. Makes me feel like it's very easy to forget the fact that Overlord is not one of those, because he just has that look, that properly good late G1 Decepticon look. But of course, he was a 90s lad. He was one of the Euro G1 guys, and because of that, I feel like getting a new figure of him, you know, okay, I like the comics, but I'm looking at this forgetting about the comics, you know? Okay, so he's made to be a big, prominent baddie now, but what this is an update of a Euro G1 figure that has legendary things that you're probably never gonna get, and if you have, Dorian, you're very lucky, and it's just, there's some of that vogue that bleeds through from the previous incarnation to this new one, and while objectively it could be a lot of a better figure, all in all, it's just a big, chunky, imposing figure, and that's what Overlord should be. And I love his jet mode, being all like the X-Men jet, that cockpit opening up with the clear orange in the windows like that. It just feels like it's right, it's just good, and it's not perfect, but man, is it good enough. Oh, here we get to what could be, if I had left it to last, be the very pinnacle of what I've had this year. MPM4 Optimus Prime, the movie masterpiece Optimus. Oh mate, I went on about that enough in the video where I unboxed it, didn't I really? It's flawless, it's perfect. Yes, okay, now the Takara one has come out, I can see where it could have done with a few more bits of gold, like in the bits of like his ankles and whatever, but honestly, the other one I've got is just unbeatable. It's so good. I haven't transformed it in months, but it's such a good figure. All the surfaces, all the shiny bits, the die cast, the articulation, I couldn't really ask for anything more. All of that metallic stuff that you've got going on in the paint job and the materials that he's made out of, it's just, yeah, sublime. Onwards to the biggest lads, it's Ruination! Oh no, I'm cheating, it's actually 5 guys in one. What a mighty monolith of 5 very good boys he is. Ah, mate, all that gold, I mean, yeah, I still like a Hasbro Deco one, but honestly, it's won me over, the look of him. It's so good, it's just the best box set of anything ever. I never really had much to do with old Ruination back in the day, but it was just enough through Rollbar and Mobile to make me go absolutely bonkers for this set. And if you wanted an expert opinion on what the very best combined box set is, it's got to be that one, because the hands and the feet as well, you know, properly working ankle tilty rashy feet, proper big fists that don't turn into anything else and are just fists, all that paint, perfect build quality all the way through. Yeah, Baldius is where it's at. That being said, I do rather like Leo Kaiser as well. Yes, I couldn't really leave this off the list. It hit me in such a way that it was just like, why do I like this so much? I don't know. You know, a bit of that Overlord effect is coming through with this guy again. It's that kind of bleed through from the past of this legendary mythic figure that has a little bit of that quality imbued in this new version, because I'm never going to get my hands on old school Leo Kaiser. I mean, you're probably not either, Dorian. He's very far from perfect as a combiner, if I'm talking about it as the one figure that it counts as in my list, but it's still imposing and it's so colourful, and it just feels like it's hit that pinnacle of combiner wars, like right at the end, right at that furthest point, that apogee, what's the word, furthest, I don't know, but that very border of where combiner wars was just about to end, and it felt like they'd finally just hit it, just properly hit their stride as far as being repaints and new heads go. So we reached number 17, or what, 1? I started at 17, didn't I? Yeah. Number 1, not necessarily the best one, but very good nonetheless. Another Christmas hit. It's the last night Cybertron, or just Purple Primus, whatever you want to call him. Man. Now, I haven't really done that much with the figure, to be perfectly honest, and there's not that much you can do. He's a big boy, he's got a relatively good amount of joints for his size, but just standing him there is just the majesty of that thing. The colours, the silhouette, the look, the grandeur of it is just unparalleled, and the fact that it's a Unicorn Trilogy guy of course helps. But yeah, I love it. It's crazy, it's wacky, you know, why is that in a movie line? But as it is, it's just a very, very good thing to have. It certainly ticks all the boxes of the things that I like in my collection. If I didn't have something that was twice its size, it would be quite a nice sort of centrepiece actually. So there you have it. That's me 2017, all done and wrapped up. That's all the good stuff. Well, not all the good stuff, because there was so much more good stuff, wasn't there? Let's face it. So, onwards to 2018, and seeing what Power of the Primes will give us, and hopefully, you know, all the subsequent waves will be better than the first one, because that was a bit... I don't know, bit iffy. Although I did nearly put a couple of them into this list. Just felt like I got them a bit too late, you know, they're going to grow on me. I know they are going to grow on me, and they already are. But there was just something a little bit off about that first wave, I think, and I'm very keen to see what the subsequent waves will bring and what everything else in 2018 is going to bring, because, like, you know, what's going to happen with the Cyberverse cartoon, what's going to happen with the Bumblebee film. Looks like not a lot, actually, in terms of toys, because, of course, are they going to be able to get the license to make VW Beetles? Don't know, feels like if they're not going to, it's going to be a bit of a failure, isn't it, really? But then, of course, we've got that Studio series, or whatever it's called, that new movie line. It's going to be older movie characters done in lovely new forms, and I'm quite excited about that as well, actually. So I don't know, maybe that will come along and be like the meat and potatoes of movie stuff when the Bumblebee film is out, because they can't make a whole line of just Bumblebee. It looks like they're not going to try. If all those computer listings from some shop in America that came to the fore the other day are true, that looks like it'll be the case. But anyway, it's exciting. It's going to be another good year for robots, I think. I hope so, anyway. I've got to say, I feel like without RID, without Titan's Return, it feels a bit like, oh dear, a lot of things are going away. And also with Takara now doing exactly the same thing as Hasbro. It's like, you know, their Legends line seems to have finished. They're going to do a few more bits there, I expect. But their Power of the Prime stuff is exactly the same. So I can't go and get a better looking Jazz, and I can't go and get a better looking Optimus that actually has blue fists or whatever. It's all a bit like, oh dear, what's going on there? So let's see what we think this time next year, and what I'll be putting in front of you then. Ooh, the possibilities are endless, almost. One thing's for sure though, number one will be the Rescue Bots Hotshot. Because you know what, 2018 is actually going to be the year of my boy! Oh yes, he's back.